Boys and squirrels, it has been a chubby little minute since I last played an Assassin's Creed game. The last one to hold my attention for longer than 30 minutes was Origins, and although that was a pretty great game that brought a whole new RPG spin to the series, what turned me off from finishing it was the grinding for levels near the middle of the game. I hated doing those boring ass side quests just to get to a high enough level to continue the story. I mean, maybe I was playing it wrong, but it just ruined the flow of it all. So naturally, when Odyssey came out, I just skipped it. And then came Valhalla, and I had every intention on skipping out on this one, but sometimes life works in mysterious ways. I mean, one minute you've got lemons, the next minute you have stage 4 testicular cancer.
Hey fellas!
Yeah?
Check your balls for lumps. It might be cancer. What? Yeah, so check your balls for lumps. It might be cancer. It might be cancer, bitch.
I had no clue what to expect, but the moment the game let me draw my artistic masterpiece in the snow and then switch to the Raven to see it from a better angle was the moment I knew that she was not like the other girls. Now, before I go any further, I do want to point out there's going to be some minor spoilers in this video. It's not that major or anything, but I feel like I should still tell you guys because I want to make sure you're good. And if you're not good, subscribe, you'll feel better. Maybe. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Do what you want. Now, for those of you wondering if this is still an Assassin's Creed game at heart, I would have to say, yeah. I mean, you still got your hidden blades, your assassins, your leaps of faiths, and yes, the rumors are true. I can confirm you can still teabag during the loading screens. What more do you want? Going from Origins to Valhalla feels like such a nice evolutionary step for the series. They've added so much good stuff to this game, and I'm not sure if some of these features were already a thing in Odyssey since I haven't played it, so just keep that in mind. But dude, Valhalla is wild. Combat is weighty and responsive. You've got a lock-on system to enemies if you choose to activate it, which gives the game a sprinkle of that Dark Souls feel with the one-on-one combat. Timing deflections and finishing enemies with a brutal finisher is some of the most satisfying combat experiences I've had in an Assassin's Creed game in a very long time.
Cover your nuts, boys. Here we go.
Charging into a town on a raid with your Viking homies feels like going into a real battle, and combat isn't mind-numbingly easy like Brotherhood was. But it's not impossible either. I mean, you could crank it to the highest difficulty and then, yeah, there'll probably be times where you want to commit. Like this part.
Why on God's earth are you so hard?
But we'll get to that. And speaking of hard, me for these boss battles. Holy flippin' a flying on a cow's big old spoiler alert, these boss battles are so damn fun. I'm spinning everywhere. I won't spoil too many of them, mainly because I'm literally still playing the game as I'm making this video, so I can't, but the boss battles are definitely a favorite of mine in this game. Just the variety of enemies and the difficulty to kill them, and God, my hatred for this dumbass wolf groundhogging into my ass cheeks all the time with its broken ass moves and weird hitbox that wouldn't register my shots if he was still coming up from the ground. I must have tried a good 50 sometimes before I finally got to kill it, but it felt so damn good to finally get that, you know? Even with a couple of glitches here and there, Valhalla's combat is solid and satisfying. The stealth is still here too, and still dumping buckets of anxiety on me while I try to keep track of everyone without getting caught. If fighting everyone head-on isn't your thing, you still have the option to sneak around town to get to where you need to go. But don't worry, if you ever get caught and end up having to fight the entire town of guards, you just have to blow into that little spike trumpet and your entire Viking family tree will show up on site to help you fight. There's a lot of awesome stuff introduced in Valhalla, at least to me. I mean, if you played Odyssey, maybe some of this stuff will be old-ass news, but hey, look, Home base upgrading brings meaning to actually doing the raids and side quests. It reminds me of the good old days of upgrading the Monteriggioni villa in Brotherhood. It's nice to see your hard work make a visible change to the people closest to your character and see this raggedy-ass tent settlement slowly turn into an actual town. Looting without having to get off your horse or having to see the same animation of your character picking something up for the 100th time is some quality of life type of shit right there. Less is more. I know the character picked up the item. I don't need to see it over and over again to the point where I absolutely hate looting. Red Dead. Last of Us. Plus, the less time I get to waste watching filler animations of my guy picking rocks up means the more time I get to spend collecting snake eggs for this lady to eat and drop a fat gas bomb on the whole neighborhood.
Yes!
Your neighbors are gonna love this.
Oh, God! The smell! I can't!
Now, I know I've been talking this game up a lot, and although I do think Valhalla is one of the better Assassin's Creed games to release within this generation, there's a couple things that kick this game right in the, right in the swingers, dude.
It might be cancer.
There's a couple things that make me want to hit the uninstall button so hard on my PC I accidentally wipe Windows 10 from my freaking hard drive. I'll say this as nicely as I possibly can. The historical part of this game is fantastic. Being a Viking raiding villages and sticking it to the man is why I bought this game. But if you'll allow me to have a brief whiny gamer moment here, what is this load of donkey nuts, dude? I just got to this beautiful scene with my Viking family sailing off to greener pastures. The title screen is fading into view, the music is swelling all nice like, the scenery's looking beautiful, I'm feeling emotional, and then, hey, I'm sorry. I know you're having a moment here, didn't want to interrupt, but do you remember that chick from Origins and Odyssey? Yeah, spoiler alert, she's back, so you get to play as her and everything, and we're gonna have to like, you know, we're gonna chop up the game so you get to play as her and walk through a garden and talk to people you don't care about. To me, the modern day story died with Desmond, and even if Desmond were still a part of it, that's not why I play Assassin's Creed. The quality of writing and the dialogue with these characters is enough to show me that even Ubisoft doesn't really care about the modern plot. It's okay to just stop. Just focus on the historical aspect. I won't harp on this too much more because I know some of you out there genuinely love the dual storylines, and I respect that. But for me, moments like this where I have to get pulled out of the main experience to sit through the dialogue of a storyline I feel nothing for makes me actually want to quit and not pick the game back up. My hyperactive brain could care less what happens to these three butt munchkins. I want to be a Viking, murder some men, and collect shiny things from their homes afterwards, so then I could get stronger and kill even bigger men to steal their stuff too. I'm a simple man. That's honestly my biggest personal gripe about the game. Obviously, there's smaller stuff like glitches, but I mean, you can't have a Ubisoft game without a little bit of Ubisoft bugs crawling up all in there with their little bug legs and bug faces and big old bug butts just jiggling all up in your face. Please step back, ma'am. I have a family. You've got the wrong... Stop. The good news is none of the glitches I ran into are super game-breaking or absolute nightmare fuel like the Unity ones used to be. At best, they're funny to watch and you kind of want to see how long it'll keep going for, and at worst, they can be a bit frustrating, especially this poop-ass, shit-ass dog with its crappy broken... Even with all of its shortcomings, I think Valhalla is a great entry to the Assassin's Creed series, and it's one that has me hopeful again for the franchise as a whole. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little moment in time where I felt a bit jaded about the series, and if I hadn't played Valhalla, I would probably still be feeling that way. I'm happy to see Ubisoft continuously trying new things and evolving the games over the years. Just in the way that Prince of Persia ended up evolving to create Assassin's Creed, I'm kinda curious to see where all these changes will take us next. Will it still even be called Assassin's Creed 5 years from now? I don't know. Just like I don't know how to end this video, so let's cut to the song I recorded in one take. Merry Christmas.
Hey fellas!
Yeah?
Check your balls for lumps. It might be cancer. What? Yeah, so check your balls for lumps. It might be cancer. It might be cancer, bitch. It might be cancer. Roll up on it from this end up in the cancer. Yeah, I'm not joking shit. That shit is deadly, bitch.